talk to the strength of this year's bench? In the last game we had a like for like swap in the midfield, and you don't miss a beat. Um, Obviously, when I played, substitute was to come in and improve the game. Can you talk to the strength of the bench and how important that's going to be as we go through the dog days of the middle of summer?
Yeah, I'm really appreciative of all the work that went in the off season to try to build the roster, not only to increase the quality but the quantity and depth as well. And that's something that I think we've been able to achieve. And you can see that early on, and we're going to see that again this week, especially with Kai being out and Matty Peltola being out. Someone like Lucas McNaughton is more than ready for this opportunity, and he's going to have a great match, I know, against Orlando. And I think that when you say that about the match the other night, Jacob comes into the match and he makes an impact, and he's made an impact a number of times coming off the bench and is fighting for a starting spot. Brandon Cervania has started matches and has played in a reserve role the other matches, and that's the type of healthy competition that you want within a group as well. That's really going to bring out the strength and quality in every single player. And as we move forward in the season, we're going to need every single person in our roster, and every single person in our roster is going to play a role at some point that's going to be vital for us. We needed this from different players at different times last season, and we're going to need it this year. But I think for this year, we're built in a different way and in a more sustainable way for this entire season.
That's great. Thank you, Troy.
Yep.
Next, we'll go to Brendan.
Hey, Troy, appreciate your time. You kind of alluded to it there, actually. Some new faces that have joined the squad this year. We talked about it in preseason, and, that's always going to be a bit of a slog. But now that you're several weeks into the regular season, how have you seen those guys adjust to being part of the group on the field and maybe even more off of it now that they've had these experiences?
It's a really cohesive group. I was impressed last season how the group came together. This year, it seems like the new faces have fit right in with what we're trying to do, not only on the field, but to your point, off the field. And yesterday was a day off for us, and I know a number of those guys, they went and did something off the field. I think a number of them played golf. It's just great to see how these guys come together and really try to create a bond and a relationship that's going to go well beyond just 90 minutes or just training every single day. And that's the type of environment that we want to create at our club. And I think that's part of our strategy in terms of the people that we recruit. We try to recruit like-minded people that fit into the culture that we're trying to build. And this is a special group. I really think that they're a group that I enjoy being around, and they enjoy being around one another.
You mentioned the off the field. Are you aware of any March Madness pools that might be going on in the locker room?
I can't confirm or deny that, but I do know that these games are on right now in the facility. So I think there's some awareness around it. I don't know anything beyond that.
Awesome. Thanks, Troy.
We'll throw it to Sam, all done from Zoom here.
Yeah, so you remain one of the few unbeaten teams in the league. How much does that kind of factor into your talks with the team? How important is it to be a team that's difficult to beat? And what has the team done well over these first 4 games to be in that position?
I think it means everything for what we're trying to do, Sam. We've made it our objective to be a team that certainly wins more matches, but to what you just said there, be really difficult to beat. And I think that we could have picked up another win in the first 4 matches. But I think we've been very consistent, though. We've been very consistent. We want to continue that consistency against a very strong Orlando City side. It's going to test us in a lot of different ways. It's going to be difficult to come out of that match still undefeated, but we have that in mind. We believe in ourselves to be able to go and do that. And we want to just have a great start to 2025. I think it's been a long time since the club has had this type of start. I think it goes back to 1997. 2006, 2015. These are the years in which the club started off in a really tremendous fashion. And if you look at what the end result was for every single one of those years, it was a team towards the top of the table, and that's our aim. So if we can start in that way and continue to push that record and be, right now I think we're one of 7 teams that haven't lost, then we're taking the steps that we felt like were necessary in 2025 to be a real player in this league.
And then June got his first shutout over the weekend. For any young goalkeeper, especially someone coming from from Korea, learning a new language. What have you seen from him in terms of his progress up to this point, and how do you think he's acclimatizing to being in MLS?
Yeah. I said this early on, and now I can say it even more because I just see the amount of work that he puts in every single day on the field, but then also trying to assimilate and just learn a new culture, learn a new language. This guy is incredibly mature. He's got a great personality, a big personality. We're seeing more of that now that he's learning the language and getting more comfortable with the guys. And his quality is everyone can see that on the field, especially for a young goalkeeper. Gives our group a ton of confidence. I love hearing what Aaron Herrera last week had to say about him. That's a pro that's been in the league for many years. Aaron played with some top players and top goalkeepers, and he's speaking very highly of June. And I think everyone shares that opinion about his ceiling. For him to get a clean sheet last week, he's only going to gain more confidence, and the group's going to gain more confidence out of that. But one more time, as we bring the focus back into Orlando City, we're going to need June to have a great match to be able to keep Orlando City off the scoreboard.
And then just speaking about the back line as a whole, even extending further than that to people like Boris, right, who are in the midfield. What are your thoughts on them as a collective? And yes, we know that Kai will be out this weekend, but what are your thoughts on how they've done so far this season?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, man, because I think it's easy to speak about a goalkeeper or center backs, maybe the back four even. It goes as far as that whenever you speak about a clean sheet. But I think our entire group, we defend as a group and as a collective. And many times we talk so highly about how we go and press teams and make them uncomfortable. But what we've gotten better at is whenever we get broken down, we work really, really hard to get behind the ball to try to defend extremely hard in the box and limit the opponent's chances. And that's something that you haven't seen us give up very many chances this season. And again, that's what we're going to have to focus on this weekend if we're going to get a result in Orlando.
And then just speaking on Orlando a little bit, what are some of the problems that they might pose for us?
They just have so many good individual players. They're so capable of getting out in space and finding space and being dynamic. So when I look at all their 10s, Angulo, Ojeda, Muriel when he drops down, their new DP signing, all these players are incredibly attacking minded and very comfortable 1v1. So if they get isolated, they can beat you and they can hurt you. And so it's going to be, again, very important that we stay together and don't let them get comfortable on the ball, because if you do that, they can pick you apart. But also make sure that we get behind the ball every single time that we get broken and really recover from one another.
Awesome. That's all I have. Brian, is there anything else?
Yeah, Troy, we have one more. We'll go to Dennis Gomez.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks, Troy, for speaking with us. 4 games into the season, and after you've been able to make some analysis on the past 4 games, just as you've been undefeated, we've also, DC United has not been able to beat 2 out of the 6 teams that have not been able to get a win. What are your thoughts about that, and what is your analysis or self-criticism on that?
Yeah, look, I think where we are, it's early in the season. So it's early season results both for ourselves and the opponents that we played against. I think we look at it way more from an optimistic standpoint about what we've been able to do. We've been there to win every single match so far. So I don't think that by any means the opponents that we've played have gotten the better of us. I'd like to see us finish out those matches in which we could take 3 points, and that's something that we are very critical of. And the details behind that are continuing to, whenever we create the moment, to finish the moment. I think we're top in the league right now in expected goals, so we've been there to be able to score more goals. We create plenty. And then, I think we've also been a team that have limited the opponent, and only in the case of a couple times in set piece moments and transition has an opponent gotten the better of us. So we're trying to limit that as well. But I'm very optimistic about it. I think the way you frame that, Dennis, is understandable, but we don't look at it that way. These are all, every single match is really difficult no matter where an opponent stands. And we're happy to not have any losses yet, and we hope to keep it that way, and we hope to continue to add more wins in the win column.
And just as a quick follow-up, I've noticed some of the trophies being displayed right side out of the locker room since last year. Is that something that you kind of suggested, or is it something that you just happened to move there this year?
No, this started at the end of last season. I mean, this was something that is not only important to myself, but it's important to many people within the club. We have a history in which we want to celebrate. This history is something that inspires us and motivates us. And whenever we come into the locker room, that it's there for us to see. That's part of our motivation, is to try to add to that trophy cabinet. And this is something we want to celebrate at every single turn. So I give a lot of credit to everyone in the front office that has made that happen. And we're going to continue to add more to the legacy. That's our goal.